Ever wonder about the super weapons that almost changed the world? The game changers that were just a pen stroke away from rewriting history. Today, on the Time Vault, we're re-diving deep into the declassified archives to uncover the most incredible weapons the military canceled at the very last minute. These aren't just blueprints and fantasies. These are fully developed, often tested machines of war that, for one reason or another, never made it to the battlefield. First up, let's talk about the A-12 Avenger II. This wasn't just any plane. It was supposed to be the future of naval aviation, nicknamed the Flying Dorito for its sleek, triangular shape. The A-12 was designed to be a carrier-based stealth bomber, invisible to enemy radar. Imagine a fleet of these things, capable of striking deep behind enemy lines with pinpoint accuracy, all launched from the deck of an aircraft carrier. It was a concept straight out of science fiction. The project began in the mid-1980s, a joint venture between McDonnell Douglas and General Dynamics. The goal was to replace the aging A-6 Intruder. The A-12 was packed with cutting-edge technology, from its composite materials to its advanced radar systems. The promise was enormous. It would give the U.S. Navy an unparalleled advantage, a stealthy fist that could punch through any air defense system on the planet. Prototypes were being built, and the program was in full swing. But then, the problems started piling up. The A-12 was overweight, its development costs were spiraling out of control, and there were serious technical delays. The program was bleeding money, and the Cold War, the very conflict it was designed for, was coming to an end. In 1991, with billions of dollars already spent, the Secretary of Defense made a shocking decision and canceled the entire project. It was one of the largest and most expensive defense program cancellations in history. The Flying Dorito would never fly, leaving a huge what-if in the annals of military aviation. What remained were a few mock-ups and a story of ambition that flew a little too close to the sun. Next, let's go from the skies to the ground with a true behemoth, the XM2001 Crusader. This wasn't your average artillery piece. The Crusader was a self-propelled howitzer, designed to be the king of the battlefield. We're talking about a fully automated, 40-ton beast that could fire up to 12 rounds a minute at targets over 25 miles away. Its most revolutionary feature was its automation. The crew could stay safely inside the armored cabin while a robotic system handled the loading and firing of its massive 155mm shells. The Crusader was designed for a high-intensity, fast-paced war in Europe. It could shoot and scoot fire a devastating barrage and then quickly relocate before the enemy. You could even figure out where the shots came from. It was also networked, meaning a single Crusader could receive targeting data from drones, scouts, and other units, making it incredibly precise. It was supposed to be the artillery system for the 21st century, leapfrogging anything else in the world. Development was well underway by the late 1990s. The prototypes were impressive, demonstrating an unprecedented rate of fire and mobility for such a large vehicle. But the strategic landscape was changing. After the 9/11 attacks, the focus of the U.S. military shifted from large-scale conventional warfare to more agile, counterinsurgency operations in places like Afghanistan and Iraq. A massive, heavy artillery system like the Crusader seemed like the wrong tool for the new job. It was deemed too heavy, too expensive, and not flexible enough for the wars of the future. So, in 2002, despite its incredible capabilities and years of development, the Crusader program was cancelled. The Army decided to upgrade its existing Paladin howitzers instead, leaving the revolutionary Crusader as a powerful ghost of a war that never happened. Now, let's get really futuristic and talk about something that sounds like it was pulled directly from Star Wars. The Boeing YAL-1 airborne laser. This wasn't a weapon that fired bullets or missiles. It fired a high-energy beam of light. The concept was simple but audacious. Mount a massive chemical laser inside a modified Boeing 747 jumbo jet, fly it high into the atmosphere, and use it to shoot down enemy ballistic missiles right after they launched. Think about the implications. This would be the ultimate defense system, capable of neutralizing a nuclear threat from hundreds of miles away, long before it could reach its target. The YAL-1 was a marvel of engineering. The heart of the system was a multi-megawatt laser, powered by complex chemical reactions. It had a sophisticated tracking system that could lock onto a missile, boosting into space, and a deformable mirror that would adjust the laser beam in real time to compensate for atmospheric distortion. The program started in the 90s and actually produced a working prototype. In 2010, the airborne laser successfully engaged and destroyed the test missiles in flight. It worked. The dream of a flying laser cannon was a reality. But, like our other contenders, the UIL-1 ran into major hurdles. The system was astronomically expensive to build and operate. The logistics of handling the toxic chemicals for the laser were a nightmare, and its effective range was debated. Critics argued it would be a vulnerable high-VAO target. Despite its successful tests, the project's budget was slashed, and in 2011, the program was officially cancelled. The one and only flying laser was sent to the boneyard, a spectacular technological achievement that proved too impractical for the real world. Finally, We have the RAH-66 Comanche, a helicopter that was supposed to revolutionize Army aviation. The Comanche wasn't just another attack helicopter. It was a stealth reconnaissance and light attack helicopter. Its design was sleek and angular, incorporating radar-absorbent materials and a shrouded tail rotor to make it incredibly quiet and hard to detect. It was designed to be the eyes and ears of the Army on the 21st century battlefield, sneaking behind enemy lines to find targets for Apache helicopters and other forces. The Comanche was packed with advanced sensors, a sophisticated glass cockpit and fly-by-wire controls. It was fast, agile, and deadly. It was a perfect partner for the Apache, a scout to the Apache's heavy hitter. The program began way back in 1983, and after 2 decades of development, 2 working prototypes were built and flying. They were performing beautifully in tests, showcasing their stealth and agility. The Army was planning to buy over 600 of them. But, you guessed it, the story takes a familiar turn. The Comanche's development costs had ballooned to nearly $7 billion. And just like with the Crusader, the nature of warfare was changing. The military found that unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, could perform many of the same reconnaissance missions as the Comanche, but at a fraction of the cost and with no risk to a pilot. Drones were the new, cheaper, and more expendable eyes in the sky. In 2004, after over 20 years of work and billions invested, the Army made the painful decision to cancel the Comanche program. They used the funds instead to upgrade their existing helicopter fleet and invest more heavily in drone technology. The 2 beautiful Comanche prototypes are now museum pieces, silent reminders of a stealthy future that never arrived. From flying Doritos to laser-firing jumbo jets, these cancelled projects represent billions of dollars and countless hours of genius-level engineering. They show us a fascinating alternate history of military technology, where ambition sometimes outpaces practicality. They were so close to becoming reality, but in the end, they were relegated to the pages of history books. And of course, our video today. What do you think? Would any of these weapons have been worth the cost? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on the Time Vault. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of what-ifs, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next exploration. We'll see you next time.